Look, just to give you an idea, to prove for Matt, for him to prove, for him to step out of the way and to prove that you're dealing with the unseen when it comes to Saturnian energy. Those are two words. Because with what little bit that he has knowledge of his bloodline, what's on his marked birth certificate, which is commerce, they can't see that because they were born in it. About these names. You know, the same way you watch TV channels, those lights and those orbs are channels. These life forms are channels. That's what they are. And those channels have been disconnected. And now the channel is the screens and shit, which is black magic. So they're not going to come out of it. They don't know that they're not real. They don't. They have no idea that they're just guided, influenced, inserted with impulses. You know, but on his birth certificate it says that his father birthplace was Indiana. Okay. Well, when we're going to look back in the sort of the middle of the 1900s, there's going to be a lot of poverty. And see, we've got these corporations around all these towns. It's because we're selling the money. So when you create poverty, you create an opportunity for children that see, oh, I'm going to work my way up through here without all these college degrees now because it's that way. So all they'd seen was these corporations. But, you know, he grew up on the outskirts of Chattanooga. His family grew up towards Lafayette, Georgia. Lafayette is a name we use everywhere because it's the same names in all the towns and cities. They can't even, should be different, but they're dumb. They can't put it together. So, but when you're looking at Lafayette down there, okay, and you're looking at towns, he's done videos on them. They're just little big corporations for goy commerce. You know, so there's a book called The Orphan Trains that tells a lot about what's going on. Mind Unveiled YouTube channel has a Cabbage Patch trilogy videos that you can learn about shit. There's the Cabbage Patch Factory in Georgia, which it has to do with cloning babies. Seriously. But not in cloning that you're thinking. So you have his bloodline on his father's side. They grew up really, 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 really fucking poor. So the question would be, okay, but if his dad's from Indiana and his dad's poor, where did they learn about Lafayette? Because it didn't have nothing. Back then it was just Coca-Cola factory and then bigger factories, and that's it. And a Sonic and a city pool. That's the same shit in all of them. You understand what I'm saying? And it's like he had talked about when we're talking about, you know, setting up a bloodline corporation dynasty, so to speak. Okay, when we go in and set these towns up and create a corporation, we have to analyze all these orphans. We'll use that term. We're going to analyze all these children, these little beings with very smart brains, but we're going to program them. So we're going to test them, and because we're giving them these last names and all this, documenting them and shit. And one of the big names down there in Lafayette was Wardlaw. Yeah, W-A-R-D-L-A-W. War and Law. So, you know, when you really get deep enough, not only is it a mockery, but it's a hex own the bloodlines, you know, because there's nothing around. There ain't nothing around. So, you know, these children and whoever they throw in there, they grow into this controlled environment, you know, and we've done videos, he has, about this. When you're looking at white and black, you're going to look at, they set up a predominantly white town, okay, and mind you, there is so much land around Lafayette, was and still is, south and everywhere. So train tracks showed up, you know, we're gonna bring our brand supplies in, but anyways, so that's when they bring in other beings right in the middle of what they'd set up and just put signs everywhere. They can't drink out of this water fountain, they can't do this, when they could have just, because if you're going to claim we're going to save cultures, then you don't. That's how you destroy them. But they're not real anyways. But let's go with it being real. That's how you destroy it, and you create this generational division. You understand? And his great grandfather, and on his mother's side down there, they were the first recipients of land that was divided right when it was fucking, not too long after we covered it up, after we had destroyed this. This was the last area. Chattanooga was the last area to be fucking melted and covered up when it comes to the world. It is. It's not hard. And all the pictures you see that's been covered up, they've tried to bury them all, but when you do point it out, they'll say that there was so much gunfire in the battle of the Civil War down here in Chickamauga and all that there was so much gunfire that it burned every tree to the ground, to the stumps and all. It's fucking crazy and stupid. It's fucking stupid. So, but then on top of that, you've got, you know, little bitty towns just like that one all around Chattanooga and anywhere else around a semi-bigger city. So the nightlife in Chattanooga is going to outweigh any kind of life in the towns, because the towns are created to be boring for those children to, you know, that grow up poverty and all this shit, and they have, you know, imaginations of the cities and shit, and so they get a little older and, you know, they move closer, and it's not real. We're giving it to you. So you can go to any, and those that name Wardlaw, and there's a couple more, but you know, they were big with coke and shit, and it's like, you're not going to be connected to something unless you're allowed or designed into it, and then step back and look like you were actually nobody that would create that. And they'll say, well, but the thing is Matt, well, they gave everybody a chance to make. Not everybody. That shit's in the elementary schools and everything, man. It is fucking arsenic designed and disguised as it refreshes. And that's what we always talk about. When you can't see that connection, and how you can't see that connection is mind control. So if you can't see the soda for what it is, even though if you might still drink some from here and there because we're ingrained with it, but you have to identify it. Okay? And if you can't, then you're not going to be able to see the towns and for what they are. But anyways, like his older bloodlines, at one time he was trying to get them fucking out of the way. He was going to go dig some shit up, and they're fucking dummies. There's some land that has just sat there for years, decades. He's had investors to go down there and do shit, and no. And all he's heard was, as long as somebody pays the taxes, well, we're going to, oh, you ain't doing that, so you don't want it to be for us. That's my whole point. It's fucked up. He went down there and got some, it's covered up, but he tried to explain it to his aunt how they were the first ones. And they can't listen. They don't have it. You know, the impression and the imprint of their childhood and how real it was is concrete. you know, but their childhood is no different than any other that's done the same thing. They were planted there. Their parents, their bloodline was planted there, and then they were moved around all through the country. It's why you see different cities on these birth certificates. It's because they were setting it up to multiply the earth more, you know, and then set these, you know, certain bloodlines to have a connection to these fucking these dead. They're dead. They represent death, and their bloodline is connected to that shit. Not only that, the whole community is connected to death. They don't even see it. It's like we were watching we study the fucking body cam videos, you know, because when you're dealing with crimes and shit, you're dealing with demons, and in the arresting people too. You know, but we're looking at their mannerisms and shit, and there was a guy that snuck into school and had looked online and shit and went in there and tried to steal some papers to fill out eventually, and then go in there and yank this child out and shit. You know, very clever fucking plan and all this shit, you know, and you'll see it's been going on, but they wouldn't do that unless they were influenced. Anytime that a news story comes on and goes, yeah, more Disney employees got caught pedoville and all this shit, well, that implants a thought of, you know, what it represents. That's black magic. It coerces you. See, they don't talk about it in a way that glorifies it. They talk about it in a roundabout way to where it's just the news. Yeah, it's just black magic conditioning to turn the whole fucking world into pedos. It is. It's all it is. And it's coming, too. All that shit's coming. Every fucking bit of it. It's the same shit they did when... They do it to all civilizations. You know, but when Rome supposedly fell, it's the same shit. Same. It's fucking dumb, and it's fucking dumb. You know, I've said it a long time ago. They gotta be tired of just fucking these dumb goy that are just dumb. You know, I mean, it had to get old sooner or later. It's like, God. And they throw shit out there in their commercials mocking people like, you know, it's like Taco Bell when they had those commercials about the Illuminati, which is real. And all they do is get on there and go, yeah, it's a commercial. And it's like, yeah, but that's black magic. You are so stupid. Come on, y'all ready to go fucking have fun some more, not learn anything, guys? And that's who they are. They're these little fucking impulse, have fun, don't learn anything, don't fucking learn who you are or nothing. Just eat shit out of a plastic wrapper and hold your hand out for medicine. And blame everybody and cuss it's fucking, it's sick and it's fucking awesome at the same time. Whoa. So, I don't know. Yeah. It is what it is. But it's not hard to see that. You know, you raise all these communities and towns with these pictures and images of brands and you know, the word Coca-Cola in itself backwards. You need to learn how to get a mirror, and you can even get comic books and set the mirror up to where it's a split image, and certain cartoons and stuff, you'll see fucking demons in them. I'm serious. It's crazy. It's not crazy because you know what it is, but you got to get mirrors and all this shit, because that's how because the brain registers what you don't know. The brain will see that image without the mirror on it. The mirror shows you the image for what it truly is, but the brain and the subconscious registers it for what it is, but you don't know what it is. And just like colors within all these fake cartoons and toys and shit, those fake colors create different emotions within a child and the chemicals and all that shit. And, man, buddy, this is dangerous as shit right here. So it's what causes them to squeeze animals and, you know, choke the shit out of them. And it's real. And now the grandparents and the parents, they just set little fucking gadgets in front of them. They just sit fake colors in front of them, and these children absorb all this black magic, and that's who they are. And it's crazy because, you know, in the 80s, you know, all those toys, and even 70s toys that we played with, they're all fucking different satanic, geometrical, inverted symbols. Every one of them. Uno and all, not, what is it? All of them are. Which one is it? It's the press game. It's the circle with the 4 colors. That's the fucking same symbol on the churches. And then every one of them is crazy. So, anyways, all right, I love you.